Yeah, it's in the
Good
studio.
afternoon.
Great. Good evening. This is the Bottom Line Liberia where we discuss issue. Welcome to the Bottom Line Discussion Live. We are broadcasting with the Rare Power radio station in Liberia. Today we're going to have a full house. We'll have a guest too who here. Welcome guys from Manchester, from Sweden, from Norway, and also our brother in the studio, Moses. Welcome to the Bottom Line. How are you?
I'm fine, Paul, and thanks so much for having me on the show this evening, Liberian time.
Great, great. So I'll let the rest of the panelists talk, give an intro. We'll start with Mark from Sweden, and then Jamal. Then when Linford comes in. So Mark, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, and hope you all are doing good.
Great. Jamal, it's been a
Yeah, thank
while
you for
since we
having
last
me.
saw you on Butterland. So
Okay,
where you been hiding?
I'm be doing all right. We've been working background to make sure things are okay, and we're doing a technical job because we have some issues with our line. I know this is what happening right now, and we're trying to go live in Liberia, and most of the time we have some technical issue. I hope today it works well, and we got assurance from the management they're going to guide it well. But in any case, it is what it is. We keep our hope high, and that's how we're doing well in Manchester so far.
Great, 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 great. Great. Manchester is doing great, and Sweden is doing great. As we wait for the technical team to resolve the problem in Liberia, we will be going to we'll have a guest today, Mr. Sheriff. If the right Jamal, who we have today on as our guest.
Tonight we'll be having Mr. Abraham Carlison Sesay. He's a CPP, that's a collaboration political party representative or aspirant for Montserrado County District 17. In a couple of minutes, will be joining us, and we'll be dealing with the questions with regard to lawmakers ensuring transparency and accountability in government. What will their role of how can they help doing that? So tonight you'll be joining us from Rovia, Liberia, and we'll be live on the bottom line. We'll be live on the Rare Power FM 100.3. I think we have Moses in Liberia right now who will be helping us to control. While we're waiting for the guests to come, Moses, tell us about the situation now. I know a lot of political parties candidates are going to the SKD to register their candidacy. I know you were there this afternoon or this morning. Before my colleagues come, take us through a little bit of the political atmosphere in Liberia at the moment.
Well, thank you, Jamel. There are a lot of activities going on in Liberia as we speak. We got less than 100 days to the October elections, and there is a scramble now at the Samuel Kayando Sports Complex where representative and senatorial candidates or aspirants are trooping in with their documents to do their registration complete with the nation's electoral body. But there are some good things and also there are some ugly things. Um, it will interest you to note that one of the presidential candidates in the past, his name is Ambassador Milton Nathaniel Barnes. He called a press conference over the weekend and back off from the presidential race. He's withdrawn from the process, and his reason is that he wants to protect the interests of the Liberian people. So that means on October 10, you will not see Nathaniel Barnes on the ballot paper for the presidential candidates. But there are other good things that are also happening. Mr. Alexander Cummings is expected to do a full registration on tomorrow, we are told, at the SKD. The current president, George Manawia, and his vice president, they have completed their own registration process. And then Ambassador Joseph Yuma Buaka and Jeremiah Kuhn have also completed their own process. But there are good things, like I said, happening in the country. But one major thing that is of serious concern is the issue of the flood. Monrovia and its environs is being taken by flood. Because of the climate change, the rain has started to fall as early as June, and to the point it has intensified. So a lot of people are relocating from around Monrovia and trying to get to a place where they will be safe from underground waters. So these are just few of the things that are going on. Just to inform you, for the second time, the former Chief Justice, Councilor Gloria Musu Scott, was denied a bail bond by the court. So that means she has been remanded at the Monrovia Central Prison as the case will proceed. But one of the defendants has been explaining to some other individuals from the security sector that on the night of the incident at the home of Councilor Gloria Scott, she had a telephone conversation with an outsider, and she is still insisting that there was an intruder in the house, even though police investigation has so far revealed that there was no intruder. So it leaves us to wonder as to who's telling the truth.
Right. I think
Jamal,
we are
are you there?
experiencing a little bit of, yeah, we are. I think we're having some buffering coming through from your end. We are not getting you. Are you getting us, Moses? Right. I think Moses.
But I think my end is okay. So
all right. Now, Moses, why are you
yes,
talking?
I'm getting you guys loud and clear.
Thank you. I want to welcome our colleague Linford Argon from Norway. Linford, welcome.
Yeah, let me say good evening to all of you, and it's good to be back here on the bottom line, and it's good to see all of you great folks, and we're hoping to have a great discussion tonight as we'll be talking to one of the aspirants for the representative seat in district number 7. I understand 17. I understand. So I think it's going to be exciting tonight.
Right. I think I will take around. Mostly you talk about the flood in Monrovia. What areas in Monrovia or Montserrado is massively affected? Any casualties so far? Moses, are you hearing us?
You have to come again, Jamal.
We were wondering whether you talk about flood in Monrovia surrounding with the heavy downpour of rain in Monrovia. We understand that there's a heavy rainfall in Monrovia at the moment. What are the areas that are
at the moment? At the moment, we have a heavy downpour of rain. It's been raining since morning in Monrovia.
All right. Okay. While we're waiting Moses to come to, guys, you can come here and tell us. Mike, welcome back to Borderline. Hello. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Jamal. How you doing?
Talk to us. How are you from that end? I think we are from Sweden. You look relaxed and you look great.
Nice thank you,
new
bro.
haircut. What's up?
Thank you. Nothing much from my end. They've been having, a week off holiday. Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's good to have.
How's your end?
No, well, we're doing good here. I think we're having some technical issue here. We'll be having Honorable Mr. Sesay tonight. Abraham Sesay is tonight our guest on our show. But I understand that you'll be coming in later. But Moses, are you hearing us from that end?
Yeah. So it's a difficulty from our end here. The rain is seriously pouring here in Broadville. And then there is an unfortunate situation, like I said here. The Monrovia Bombing Highway is cut off just around the Iron Gate area. The public works has just moved in So the traffic has been diverted from the Iron Gate inside Banjo community, and then you come as far as the St. Paul's Bridge, then you get your way out. There's been a
Wow.
cover here that got damaged as a result of the heavy downpour of rain. That is impeding the movement of the people in the western region so far. That's the latest news so far. The road is cut. You remember the Bamagira Highway?
That's the is that the one going to Bum Hill?
Yes, if you want to go to Bombay Hill, that's the road we're talking about. It's cut.
Hmm. Guys, we have Moses on. Moses is giving our highlights about what's happening political and other human interest in Liberia. If you have any questions that Moses won't mind taking it from with regard to what's happening right now in Liberia, guys, you're welcome.
Okay, Moses, you talked about global warming, and you think the heavy downpour of rain in Liberia now is a result of the global warming. But yes, I wouldn't deny that. But I think I have lived long enough in Liberia to know that at this time of the year, if I'm not mistaken, it's either in June or July, but we have like 2 complete weeks of real downpour of rain. I mean, that has been for years since I've been doing myself. But to what magnitude, I can't deny, I can't confirm either. But it's always at this time of the year, heavy rain. I can take you back to some incidents that even led to casualties. We have the infamous uh, uh, Camp Norway incident where there was a mudslide somewhere in Bomi, I think Bomi County, where a whole camp called Norway was caught. I think that was 1978, 79, around there. And so, we've been having that for years. And as usual, the in fact, the incident that even led to the creation of the drainage from Newport Street, I think somewhere up there, all the way down to the barracks that we have now. That was one of the reasons why that project was even initiated. So we usually, Lane Street used to be cut off because I had relatives that lived there before, around the A.B. Anderson funeral area. It used to be covered up. But let me just ask you, divert a little bit from the unfortunate flooding in Liberia. Besides the flooding, are there any political issues? Because of course, while we wait for our guests, we got to be, asking here and there. Is there any political issue that is trending, or are there issues that are trending in Liberia that you know of?
Yes, there are a couple of issues that are trending currently in Liberia. But the most trending one is the press conference that was called on Monday by an executive of the All Liberian Party of businessman Benina Uri. The talk show host Heron Costa, he called a press conference on Monday, and then he made a lot of revelations. He accused the former vice president, the Unity Party standard bearer, Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boakai, as a betrayer. And Costa went ahead to say that despite all of what the ALP did for the Unity Party, they believe that they were stabbed in the back. And according to Henry Costa, he was promised by Ambassador Joseph Boakai that he will be his running mate, and that at no time he would have selected the Nimba County Senator Jeremiah Kuhn as his running mate. But that went to the contrary. And Costa also intoned that it was in 2 days to the pronouncement of Joseph Boakai's running mate that they got to know that Jeremiah Kuhn was being picked from Nimba County. He said Ambassador Boakai moved into Carisbrand. You know, Carisbrand is just on the outskirts of Monrovia, going on the Monrovia-Kakata Highway. And Carisbrand should be the official home of the ALP. So according to him, Ambassador Bwaka reached out to them and informed them that he will be selecting Jeremiah Kun as his running mate. Costa also revealed a lot of things, that Ambassador Bwaka is not in good health, and in fact, in the next 6 months, he has to go to do an open heart surgery. So Monrovia has been on the top with a lot of things. Costa said that he is distancing himself from all activities of the Unity Party, but he has not told the Liberian people his next destination. He also said the Unity Party did an arrangement with the Yombly faction of the Liberty Party, and then the former Speaker Ellis Tyler, LPDP, as well as other people, and leaving out the ALP in terms of allotting political seats in the various counties. He voiced out his discontent with respect to the Unity Party announcing Wilmot Pay, the former chairman of the Unity Party, as their standard bearer in the Montserrado County senatorial election. And you know that Costa had earlier made a pronouncement that he will be contesting in Montserrado County against the incumbent Senator Sir Joseph. So that's one of the major trending news going on. And Costa, to sum it up, he said he rejected an offer of 30 million United States dollars that was coming the way of Ambassador Joseph Bwaka. But there is another trending news that has imposed fear in most Liberians in Montserrado County. In a township called Johnsonville. Johnsonville is just beyond Barnersville Township. If you know Barnersville, you travel from Barnersville Junction, you move in, and then you take another road called Dry Rest Market. Then you move in. A Malian man, believed to be in his early 50s, announced that his white cow got missing. But it was reported that some community residents captured the cow, and then they butchered the cow and ate the cow. So the Malian man had to travel out of Liberia, but he left a message that all those who ate his cow will die, including those who got the information and did not reveal it. Wow. So Monrovia has been a whole different scenario. Yeah. So the people of Johnsonville, other people, including the community chairman of the Grassfield community in Block B, they've been speaking to journalists and confessing that they ate some of the cow meat. And that's a trendy issue also.
Well, if anyone confesses, will he still die? Or I mean, have people asked the Malian men a question? Like, if I ate somebody cow meat and I say, well, I ate it, will I still die?
Yes.
Well, since the Malian man departed Liberia, it's been like 2 days now, but he has not returned.
Well, has anybody died in the community?
Many Liberians are, especially in the Johnsonville community, the residents are worried. They have not even seen the Malian man around to even apologize to him.
Has anybody died since the car incident took place and since the Malian man left in a particular area?
No, so far, so good. There has been no news of any death reported as a...
Well, that was a good human interest story.
Oh, man.
That's a very easy way to make people confess.
Yeah, we heard similar story for many years. You know why I was laughing? Because when we were kids, those were stories that people told us they need to confess.
They were no code business inside.
No.
He said,
I mean, Mark said now you can tell me Mark was one of those people that are part of the Sassu team. Mark, tell me what is Sassu you're part of? It did not happen in that house. You know about some Sassu who were happening. That was a big thing in Liberia. You have any information about those Sassu things used to happen back home? So my man, somebody told I'm going to be the Sassu people.
Yeah, anyway, those things used to happen before, but not something that actually caught my mind. So I just wanted to talk about this, how they call it, Costa
Yeah.
Revelations. I had to listen to it like two different times to unpack some of the deception, the lies, and well scripted um press conference that Costa had. So if you listen to the whole tape, you had to listen to it two different times to unpack some of the lies. Everybody know that Costa, he lies a lot, for he live off of it. So, and as I told few people within a UP camp before that, Costa was using JMB and JMB was using Costa, and this is just the beginning. So a lot will, unfold in the coming days or weeks, and I can see Costa heading towards the CDC. There's something we call the triple agent. So Costa now has become a triple agent that nobody need to take him seriously. Just leaving in the middle of the ocean, and he's gonna be swimming like Odessa's trying to find a shore to find rescue. But any political party that going to open their arms to Costa, you need to just keep him on the fence, but not to bring him into the fence because you'll be doing yourself a damage. He's somebody that cannot be trusted. And then two, rejecting the $30 million, and everybody know $30 million is not a small chunk of money. So what was he being offered for the $30 million, and why did he reject to give it to Joseph Boyka? So these are questions that people can ask from the horse's mouth itself. And talking about JMB health, it's not something that surprised to me. So if you listen to things that Costa has said, things even worse than what he said on the tape. So I don't know why people surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I was just trying to ask Mosen when it comes back, I think we still having difficulties. There's nothing new from Costa. I think this is like you said, Mark. We've heard worse thing from Costa compared to what you're saying. I don't know why making big news here. Costa seems not to be a trusted guy anymore. We know where he stands. Like the $30 issues, those are things like, I don't know, he was offered or he offered what the name JMB. What we heard previously was he brought $30 million to support the campaign, and because if he's been selected as a vice running mate. Those are the story. But you're hearing the other side of it right now. But I think believe that the issue, like you said, I think we all need to take it serious. That can we trust him? Does he looking for a big way to gather notice? Costa has been around. If you see the crowd that came around him, those days Costa 2, 3, 4 years ago, Costa show up. You see a lot of people showing up, making support. Look at the handful of people that around him for the press
Look,
conference. You know that he's struggling to gather notice.
because lies are like pregnancy, right? No matter how long you tell them, they one day show up, in the daylight. So Costa lies are catching up with Costa. And then to look at the party he represents without his, CPP, you see that Costa got nothing to hide behind. So now he's looking for another safe haven to jump behind, either the ANC or the CDC. Just watch within the next couple of weeks, he's gonna throw his self behind one of these parties and thinking that he's somebody relevant. And this, I have to say, Costa will end up being nobody in Liberia, even not winning a representative seat in Liberia. Just mark my word, because he had caused a lot of damages for himself, picking a fight with everybody. And there are some, people say eminent people in the Liberian society that you can't just go around fighting everybody, more especially a man like Cummings, who built his career from Liberia to the Ivory Coast to Nigeria to South Africa to London or the UK and then to America, and you want to destroy such a person. You don't know, what Mr. Cummings went through, all the difficulties, during those days, the racism was, very high. And for Cummings to have fought his way through, someone born in Liberia fought his way through to get at the top of that particular, Fortune 500 company, It's not something easy that you're just going to destroy and you think there won't be no consequence to that. So Costa and JMB, they got what coming to them.
I know before, my guys, Moses, so we were just talking about Costa revelations. Is there anything new to you or to Liberian? There's always something new that Costa revealed that we don't know about, we've never said before. Moses, do you hear us?
The translation is
You
a
take-
little
yeah.
bit delayed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the airwave.
It's
Moses.
If I
it
can
takes
just
few
come in,
seconds before he hear you the
Yeah, but I
translation.
think I want to let me
if I
repeat what
can
I
just
said.
come in on
Moses,
the Costa,
Moses, if you're
issue.
hearing me, are you hearing me, Moses? If you're hearing me, the question is
I'm
anything-
hearing you, Jamel.
Oh, thank you. Is from the revelations of Costa, is anything new from what he's had at a press conference? Is anything new to Liberians? Oh, wow, something, wow, we got something new from this guy's press conference. We'll be looking at the market, my colleagues here think like, well, that's nothing new in the thing. Why should we take it as a big deal? We've heard a lot from Costa, and because he didn't got a way around the old man, Honorable Ambassador Barker, that's why come with all the revelations.
No, Jamel. It's a difficult thing here, right? Some group of people still believe in Henry Costa, but a good number of them, especially from the Unity Party angle, they don't take his statement serious because they believe that his statement is denigrating to their standard bearer. But a good number from the CDC, the ruling party, they still believe in Henry Costa. Even though in the past, they told people not to listen to Henry Costa because he was a liar, and then they describe him in all manner and form. So yes, but generally, too many people do not take Henry Costa serious, especially with this latest revelation.
Well, can I say something here, Jamal? Although we don't take Costa seriously because of his lies, but there's something he said in that interview yesterday that caught my attention. It had been said all along that ALP decided to take Mr. Cummings to court, but Costa revealed yesterday that JMB was the one behind
Yeah,
it.
and then
So that's a revelation to me. Because all along he said the
Yes.
government forced him to testify. So have Unity Party ever come out to debunk that statement?
Yeah, but the thing is,
you know,
Ure is not a kid that JMB gonna force Ure to take Cummings to court. That is something I don't want us to. I mean, everybody, I respect people's opinion, right?
I'm asking a question here. He made a revelation yesterday that the court case, it was Barker that instituted the whole thing, the plan, and Ure was the one to execute it, the plan. So that means Omer Barker had been telling the Liberians that the government forced him to testify. So my saying here is because he had been giving different story all along. Have Unity Party come out to debunk that statement? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying what to give, whether you raise a small food.
No, but that's not what I'm saying to you either. It's a general question that you ask and anybody can answer, Paul.
Moses.
Yes, from my end, Jamel, Paul has a very good question. Up to present, we are still waiting for the Unity Party to give an official response because there are multiple allegations, but the one that has to do with the conspiracy against Mr. Cummings is, I think, the gravest of all. And so the Unity Party, I'm told, they will respond to such, but they have not done so.
Thank you.
And from the look of things, from what Mr. Costa said, it was a conspiracy that involved Ambassador Joseph Boakai as the architect, and then the Liberty Party political leader, Yombli Kanga Lawrence, and of course, the ALP man, Benini Ure. But Mr. Ure was being arm twisted. He was the one used to go to the court. So if Ambassador Boakai made a statement that he was forced by the Liberian government to testify, then it means that we see something resemble a double standard game from the former vice president.
Okay, let me just give my take on the whole issue. Jima asked if there was anything new in the revelations made by Costa yesterday, and Mark also tried to look at the Ure factor, saying that Ure is not a small ball to force him. Mark, let me just let you know, in that instance at that time, it wasn't anything that forced. Let's just make a comparison that we are 4 gentlemen right here, and we are all in the same organization, right? And then we feel that one person will want to get rid of the person, and we must sit down and plot. You read a lot of books, that every story there's a plot, and then the unveiling of that plot will go in different directions. So we will say, well, all of us there we want to get rid of Mike. Okay, so Jima, what can you do? Jima will say, okay, maybe I'll invite Mike, and or I'll get into a fight with Mike, and then we make Mike to be the bad guy. And so it wasn't the situation that we'll look at it literally to say somebody forced or Yuri might have said, okay, I will take comments to court. I will create a case. Okay, we all agree that, and then I will create a case and take him to the court. And then JMB, being the chief architect, will say, okay, yeah, just go. Then when you go, I will come. And I'm just giving you a scenario. I'm not saying this is what happened. You could also be right that they didn't force him. But if we look at it, that they were all in that clique that told Mr. Cummings to court. Imagine you have 4 people in the group. All 3 people accuse you one in a room. So it was something that they planned. Okay, and they even went to court. Now look at the role of GMB in that particular incident. GMB was the chairman of the CPP at that time when the case was going to court. And GMB also is the elderly man still in that group. So he would have used his ingenuity, his age, his experience, and his influence as former vice president, as the elderly man in the group, and said, "Oh, listen, guy, Yuri, if anything happens, if you accuse Cummings of this, do not go to court. Come, let's solve the problem internally. If it cannot work, then we can go." But they all jumped and they agree. So look at the role that GMB played. So for me, people will say they can't trust Costa. Costa have said a lot of things that came true. Okay, in as much as he can lie sometimes, he has said a lot of things that came true. Costa broke the news about government officials be sanctioned, and that came to fruition. We saw it. Magay and the rest of the guys got sanctioned. Okay, Costa has said a lot of things, and when it comes to Costa's own interest, where he wants to promote himself, sometimes he will talk some lies. Okay, but I think he has said a lot of things that will come out. But in this instance, I would not think that anybody will force or Yuri, but it was a plan. They all planned it, and then everybody has his part to play. So, to answer the question whether Costa reviews on new things, yeah, he reviewed a lot of new things. The money that will come in, he talked about Wologisi being involved. So what if GMB accepted this money? Who knows the fate of because talking about $30 million, that's not a small piece of money, like Mark said. For it to just come, for me to just kind of take and give it to anybody on silver platter, there must be something behind that. Okay, what interest do these investors actually have in Costa or in GMB that we just collect all that huge amount of money and give it to him? They're not dealing with government. They're dealing with a man who is running. They don't even know whether this man will win. See, so there was something behind that, and I think Costa needs to make more revelations and then to clear the air. So a lot of things still, people got doubt on. And one of the other things is he talked about that I see, for me, I thought it was new, is that the old man is literally somebody who he cannot trust, because he gives several instances where the old man went with him to America, they were there, he took apartments for the old man, all that kind of thing. And then the old man promised him, then finally, the same old man will come back and turn around and backstab him. Then you go back to his tape many years ago, 2017 or 2016, where you're describing Joe Biden, who he is. So, gentlemen, we got to look at it from every possible angle. I mean, some may not be correct, but we got to look at it from every angle.
Yeah, what I could say here, or I will say here, it's not factual because I don't have the facts on my hand, and nobody here on the show have the facts on their hand. We are only trying to give our opinion, and everybody's entitled to his opinion. My opinion on this whole something is that Costa is good in recording people's voices and stuff. So if Costa want to be transparent to the Liberian people, I believe he would have come up with some evidence to back his claim as to some of the allegations. And from day one, there has been dark plan against Mr. Cummings to deny Mr. Cummings into the actual structure or the framework of the CPP for them to go through what was written. So that has been decided by the Yombly, the how they call it, Ure, and the Boyka. I'm not saying that Boyka is innocent, but the thing is, I can't trust none of these people, no matter what they say today or tomorrow. And some of us in the ANC can have to be very careful as to how we're going to glorify Costa revelation against JMB until this thing is the former vice president too. He got his team. They could come up with some counter, claim against Costa. So it's going to take time for them to respond. But none of these people I'm going to put even drop a hair on the line for them to say, oh yeah, I credit this one, I credit this other person. But all in all is coming God is exposing the dark heart of these people.
And quickly, let me get ask something to what you said, or let me get look at it another way. You see, you are saying that we can't trust any of those people. I agree. Even me, I will not trust them. But the thing is, if somebody came from outside and made these revelations, we say, oh, but this is somebody from inside. In fact, this was the lead agent, the lead spokesman in the whole thing. So the man is telling you what he saw. So for me, let me tell you, until the UP group can come out to debunk. Now, like in Liberia, we say that Lawmakers can say my witness way beyond Drew River, because you can't cross Drew River easily. All the people they may accuse, they're right there in Monrovia. They are alive. None of them dead yet. So, and then you also talk about Costa is good at recording people. He should have to confirm his son. He should have played some voices. No, he has not reached that point. Costa made a revelation. Let them kind of deny it. When they deny it now, then somebody can say, okay, Costa can prove it. That's where Costa might come out with recording. So the whole thing here, depending how serious the Unity Party people will take it, because going to election, believe me, and this could have a crippling effect on the UP's campaign message. So this thing here for me is just starting. It's a long haul. So let's just wait and see.
Just a few seconds, Linford. If you take the script from that Costa was reading from, right? Mm-hmm. And this is how investigators they catch someone who lies. If you take that script from Costa and you ask Costa to repeat everything he said on that tape, you're going to find out it's going to be very shorter than what his previous statement press conference was. You'll find out there will be a lot of
but we don't know yet.
So that means to say his story is not, consistent.
So, if you we are not reached that point for now. Let's agree. But we are not reached that point. How do we know?
People say, they say it's a spider story.
Yeah.
But they have not come up officially to debunk this spider story. So, Mark, you see nothing? Yes.
Paul, sorry. I don't know if you read a statement from JMB where he said Henry is his son and he will not hold anything against him. Why is he going soft when Henry is going high?
So
this is a long haul. Let's wait that. Let's wait.
I wanted two of them to go at it. That's my wish.
And that's what everybody is looking at. I know that the UP will not go down easily under Costa's voice. They will not die easily.
And you see where Costa tried to push Yombly. Costa was doing damage control. So he tried to draw Yombly into the picture as well. Yombly, her own, how they call it, acting like monkey from one, banana tree to another, trying to grab the green banana when say the banana in your hand is rapper than the one on the tree. So he tried to do damage control also by dragging Yombly in. The whole thing is let's wait until we.
But they were all in it together. So when one person come out and go for damage control, so this is the party that want to lead Liberia, and all of the revelation comes out. I mean, we all got to be really cautious and say, okay, so is this what they were planning? Until they come out to say no. But as it stands now, Costa is right until they can debunk it.
Yeah, and I'm sure the UP will come out with serious allegations as well.
And
Against
concerning the
Costa.
VP health situation, will the election commission now be calling for his medical record? Because what Costa said too is also, I mean, placing in a very difficult position to be running for that office.
But the question will come to that. The question now is that if you ask that question, is part of the provisions of the election commission that every aspirant must provide their health video record? Is that
exactly
something? Is that, I'm asking? Is that something, Moses? Do you know of that? Moses, are you hearing us?
I'm hearing you guys loud and clear.
The question is, my colleague just asked a question. Probably election commission may ask Ambassador Barker, because of revelation from Costa that he's not doing well. He may be going for open bypass heart surgery soon. Will the election commission then ask for you to provide something of a bit of medical record? Is this something the election commission guidelines or law that says that every aspirant? No. So far we have not seen that in the election law. It has not even been made clear by the Board of Commissioners. At no point in time they have asked for some medical records from aspirants before registration. It's not part of those documents that you need to present to the election commission. I think I can definitely say that. Well, but would this something like trigger something like this kind of situation without triggering anything in the future that the aspirant will be asking for? The Liberian people will have to right to know the health situation of an aspirant before they go. They put the name on the ballot paper. Is this something they will trigger in the future? Do you see that coming?
I think until we get a constitutional lawyer, until we get a constitutional lawyer on the presidency to answer that question, I have not, come across, but in some countries, once opposition or opponent raise the question, then I think it's something that the election commission can adhere to. Right. Okay. I want to take you a little bit back to the if you mind, guys, divert a little bit to the story of the former Justice of Supreme Court, Justice Scott, now in jail. You said she was denied a bond recently. What does it take like in Liberia with regards to the press? I think I read a story that she been judged in the media. Is it too many revelations coming up? Somebody saying that somebody was a live witness or living witness want to testify against her, and others saying that it's a plot carried out by the government. I know we are not lawyers here; we are cases in court. We want to come and say something, but from your as a journalist in Liberia, being following the case, I know it happened in your district. Tell us what you look like, how the story look like in Liberia at the moment.
Yes, Jamel, under the law, I'm not a lawyer though, but I've been following some of the lawyers. There's something called sub judice. If a case is before the court, you have to discuss it on the surface and not in depth. But so far, what we are discussing is what the court has put out, right? The former Chief Justice was denied bail on 2 occasions on the basis of the charge of murder. On the charge of murder, it's a non-bailable crime. Murder is a non-bailable crime on our law. At first, the case had to be transferred from the Monrovia City Court to Criminal Code A. And if we are getting along, the 4 individuals that were charged, they were charged with murder, they were charged with conspiracy, criminal conspiracy, and then creating false alarm. So the 2 other crimes are bailable crimes, but the highest crime is murder. And because murder is non-bailable, they have to be remanded at the Monrovia Central Prison until the case is over.
Okay, Moses, I know you are not a lawyer or neither any of us here, but I just want all of us here to brainstorm this question here. Murder is non-bailable under our law. What if somebody is held upon being charged for murder, and that person is held and investigated because he will be in jail while the investigations are going on, and that person is found not to be guilty? What does the person benefit? Because you are denied your freedom while this case is going on, in as much as you are not being found guilty. Okay, you are denied bail. You can't get out. Then they finally found out. The court finally found out that you are not guilty, and they have violated your right in the past. What do you benefit? What happens to the accused after being vindicated?
So when you are investigated and you are not found guilty, according to the law, it is your right to take a lawsuit against whoever made the allegation against you. It's your right. And under the law can defend you.
Have we?
But there is a portion of the law that
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, there is a portion of our law that allows investigators at least a maximum of 48 hours to be able to charge any suspect and forward that person to court. And then there is something to most time that is not being practiced here, which is by law. That is to allow suspects or remind them of their Miranda rights. You know, if you want to effect an arrest, you must tell the suspect what are the due processes that they are so entitled to. For example, they have a right to a lawyer, they have a right to a phone call, and all of these things. Because if these things are not done and the person is brought before court, the person could say they were denied these things. Right. Yeah, it goes against the state.
Right. Just a reminder, if you're just joining us, this is the Bottom Line Liberia. We will be having a guest. We're waiting to join in the studio tonight. He's Mr. Abraham Sesay, who is the CPP representative for aspirant representative for District 17 on the ticket for the position of representative of District 17, Montserrado County, and we will be discussing topic lawmakers ensuring transparency and accountability in government. So while we're waiting for our guests to join us, we still have with us Moses in Liberia at control at the FM. That's Rare Power 100.3 FM in Monrovia, based in Rare Hill Field. Our colleagues from other ends in Europe, panelists are here tonight waiting for the guests to come. So we're discussing general issues from Liberia concerning what is trending in Liberia at the moment. We were looking at the revelations made by Costa, the talk show host, Pedro Costa, and the case of Justice Musu Scott, who is actually facing trial now for murder, and also the flood case. We heard that it's a flood around Monrovia at the moment. So that's it for now. We're still waiting to see if the guests will join us in studio. But then, while in the meantime, Moses have some questions for us. That's it for now, and we hope you will join us as soon as possible. Guys, there was an issue about the flood in Monrovia. Most of you live in Monrovia. I just came from the county area. I'm a little bit a village boy. So what is your experience about the downpour rain in Monrovia when it happened in this period of time? How does it look like? I mean, most of you left Monrovia for a very long time. What do you think like your life will look like? I think this a guy, Linford was telling about these things have been happening for ages. I mean, it could be an engineer or you said engineer blunder of what is happening. Something up to now, there are some leakages all around Monrovia. Sewages are broken, and when it's a downpour rain, what do you expect? They say environmental hazard, or what is happening right now? Moses, he said Monrovia. He said we heard that the public work was coming around to make sure things are under control in certain areas that are really being hampered by the downpour rain. I was just asking you today, what areas actually been affected in Monrovia at the moment? And do we have any casualties so far? Casualties?
Say that again?
If any report of any deaths so far from the downpour rain with these damages and stuff going, we know that flood is going, there's a flood, Monrovia being flooded at the moment as we speak. Is there any serious incident that we know of from the flood?
Well, just the flood. The flood is a major thing that's still affecting the people in Monrovia. That's the main thing. Um, we've had problem with garbage control before the rain intensified here. Um, in some of the communities, the garbage been in the streets for more than 9 months. In central Monrovia, down Waterside, in Painesville, on the Bourgeois Island, and then in Broadville, because the Monrovia City government signed an MOU with townships and cities around Monrovia. And that MOU allows the MCC, I mean the entity that is being managed by the CDC Secretary General Jefferson Koji. So the MOU allows the MCC to collect revenue from these townships and cities around Monrovia, and then remit 40% of such revenue to the township and cities, and keep the 60% that they use for garbage collection and disposal. But it's been difficult to do because the MCC has always said they lack capacity, they don't have trucks, they don't have fuel, and all kinds of things. So the debt has overwhelmed the entire city to a point that many people during the rainy season they suffer from cholera and diarrhea and malaria, especially with mosquito bites. So therefore, these are the major sicknesses that are affecting the people in Liberia, especially in Montserrado County. And the garbage is contributing hugely to the poor health of the people in Montserrado County. That's correct.
Mostly, let me ask you one quick question. And I still have yet to understand this. When I was seeing Liberia 2016, lastly, I passed by the new bridge going to Waterside Market, the Chinese bridge, and then the Gabriel Togo bridge. And just before when you cross the bridge heading to Vata, right on your left hand side, I don't know if that part of that is still there, but I saw the part of that as high as Little Hill. So I'm wondering how is it done? Is it taken by a truck and parked there, or just people? I find it difficult to understand because it's way up. So how did it build up? I don't know. I don't know if you guys have seen what I'm talking about.
Linford,
Mm.
you that's a good question you asked. And it's the part of Monrovia you talk about is for Honor City Corporation.
Yeah, that's part of Monrovia.
And City Corporation lately have not been able to manage to collect rubbish. So people put rubbish everywhere. And
So
I
you
think
mean the
most
people who claim enter there and
no, the rubbish just built up. Then what happened? They have these trucks that comes in.
uh-huh.
They try to pull it there like and just keep padding it up.
Because
That's what they do. It's
I know
not a
the people
human
will not
being
be
climbing
claiming
there
what
to
it is
do
and
it.
putting it up there. So there must be some truck or
Yeah,
because
and
initially
they
when I
get
saw it, I
they
thought it was
have private garbage collectors, right? And those
mhm.
private groups too, because they don't know what to dump it, so they just party up. It's something that's it. And you were talking about drainage, something I wanted to say. Most of the flooding also have to do with people building into how they call it the drainage area.
Yeah, the
And something
waterway.
happened on Carey Street, and it's still there. That problem haven't gone. You know the drainage that you're talking about that leave from come from Mama Point coming towards Getty Street, going down Solin Way, hitting the beach. Right on Carey Street, the former city mayor built a big house over that sewage center. So when it rains, the whole of Carey Street is flooded. Car cannot even pass. People actually build and block it. Then you have this because you in Liberia now, back in the days, we didn't have people didn't drink from plastic bag. So you have little $5 plastic bag of water, people drink it and then dash it on the street. And those things also can clog the drainage. So when it's rain, there's no way the water can pass. So the whole place becomes flooded. So that's one of the things most are talking about, the garbage.
When it comes to this, I have watched few incidents in Liberia, most especially the Monrovia, and something happened in Sino, right? So I remember that Shuffling Highway and part of the Corway, when it started to rain, like what Linford talking about, between the month of June, July, August, sometimes the whole of Corway going all the way to ETMI, that whole place can be, how they call it, like almost 6 feet underwater. Then the Shuffling, sometimes people get displaced from as far as the Camp Shuffling, and come on the pipeline to stay. And sometimes that pipeline also, when you go to where they got the, how they call it, the Wenton Tower, that whole place also can be flooded sometimes, but it doesn't happen like after every 5-6 years like that. Even the same thing happened in Sino before, if you go around the Methodist school. So this thing of global warming, I'm not a denier of global warming, but the thing here is that this thing been around for ages. When it comes to Liberia, after every 5-6 years, some kind of heavy rainfall will occur some part of the country, and it will cause people to be displaced here and there. Most especially that Corway belt and the Shuffling. Some part of that Shuffling Highway, if you're building, like to say in a valley, not a valley per se, but you got to be very mindful where you put your building. Then once you pass that Corway Bridge, you going around where there's how they call it, what his name's again, former Justice, Chief Justice, what the old man name again, Chechipo. Once you pass the Chechipo, the Taylor Mayor compound, that whole area, every 4 years like that, it happened. Then with that Sony, when something went do, I think came from Holland, that's where he came with that idea to build that Sony drainage. That whole bypass when they had the old merry-go-round market before, that whole place going all the way to Clay Street, the demonstration fence. After 4-5 years, that whole place, it get flooded with rain, and people that live on the bypass, that particular belt, going all the way to McDonald Street, then you come all the way to Front Street, not Front Street, but Lane Street area, that whole place too, it get cut off.
While we waiting, guys, while we wait for the guest, Moses, tell us about your chief who should have been our guest now. We don't see him. It's anything like we will raise another issue, we'll take call from our listeners in Liberia at the moment that are following the general topics we are discussing.
Well, I'm not sure he will be on because I've been trying to get him still offline. I've been trying to get him, but he's still offline. So I'm not sure he's going to be part of the show today. That's so bad.
All right. Then, yeah, they see we believe that. I hope he's not in the political meeting, but I hope we have a couple of minutes. I think roughly half an hour left to be live in Liberia. So I don't know, guys, can we give the opportunity to listeners to interact? If there are issues they can talk about, we take questions. Is that something we can try to bring in, guys?
I was listening to something Musa was saying, but I woke get up 4 o'clock in the morning to go to work. So I kind of pass off, and Musa was saying something very, very important, that the election in Liberia, people are trying to deviate from campaign message, most especially the CPP. They are lost in track, and they need to get, but I have to go back to listen to what Musa was talking about, but it was a very important topic. Musa was talking about people trying to lose focus of the election and being distracted on some issues that are not, the bread and butter issue that the Liberian people are faced with, but rather talking on some cheap stuff that are not important. And Liberian people going to be disappointed when they come to the campaign message.
Right. That's right. There was is there something you spoke about that he's going to go and rally in Niba County? Is that for part of the message that you're making? You talk about like he's going to go in Niba and have a campaign rally in Niba County.
You were talking about as to, I mean, the message not being like consistent like before. Then, like when people going to ask the question, why move we are now, and what is it? I mean, what's the importance? Should we just move we are and replace him by anybody else, or should we replace we are by somebody who is better suitable to solve the problem that the Liberian people are faced with? I think that's the message Musa was trying to talk about, that it's not being preached to from the opposition camp, most especially the CPP.
Right. Yeah, Musa has been having some interview recently. I mean,
because he said his lawyers told him not to give into the Costa tape, which was a good thing, that he, as the chairman of the CPP, doesn't get caught up in the middle of that nonsensical Costa revelation that it's not worth his time. Yeah.
Right. I think I just got a feedback from the guest you're just showing out right now. Just say she's sharing the link again. He just got home. So we got half an hour. I hope you guys will extend our time. We have to keep him because we've been holding up for him to come. So we still have some questions for him. My guys are holding up. Moses, you need to send a link to your boss to let get on. He's asking for the link to get on the show.
Okay, just before.
Okay, let me send.
Yeah, Moses, you can send it to him. Just before the guest comes in, I just want to bring this one in for fun. Why I say that we see our government officials, all of them in Israel, in that muddy Jordan River, and at this time of the year.
You got a funny guy.
When we are just, I mean, actually, I'm not saying muddy Jordan River by denigrating the river, but the water, it looks like muddy. Probably they want to go there. And so, why at this particular time they had to wait until 3 months before election then to go?
Your question remind me of, I don't know if you guys have watched this movie they call The Battle for the Kingdom of Heaven.
About that Jordan River, they have, where the black soup come from. You know that under the Dead Sea. Is that the Dead Sea they got the black soup from? So if you wash yourself from that Jordan River, you are blessed. That means you're going to win our elections. You're going to get the vote. You got to win the hearts and the mind of the people. So that is
the last election, they made them went to Reverend T. Where is that?
No, the one that passed.
Huh?
Which Reverend?
TV Joshua.
Yeah, the one that died from Nigeria.
No, that's what Jovian won. He was there with Prince Johnson. Yeah, that's why he said he won the election. So he was there.
But this time, why? Anyway, because he made that, so he went to Israel. Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, quite interesting though, because someone had. I think we shared a video recently. I think we saw it about our president is almost part of every religion. He's a Christian. He's a Jew. He's what?
Muslim.
He's a Muslim, and he's everywhere. That's quite an interesting story. That's and then we eating Liberian people care about that. We don't care. What we care about, if you like you, that's what they vote for.
The guy's giving all the gods in big competition.
Yeah, he is. He's I like George. He's a good hustler. He know how to get there and tell the people what he like, and he looks at a situation and just win. He go with the flow. That's the kind of person he is. I like him. I mean, kind of. He's a very smart guy.
And he Jefferson Kweji was there too.
Yeah, Moses, are we getting anywhere around for the guests to show up?
The man trying to convince the Mozart that after the conference in Washington
I just sent him the link and I want him to.
What a sarcasm, Moses. The man trying to convince the Mozart Moses that he's not harboring, how they call it, Hezbollah then.
Yeah.
So I sent a link to my boss. He's trying to get connected. Yeah, he's trying. Right, I hope he gets through.
For him, so we need extra minutes to add up because to add up because we got 1.5 hours. We got less than 30 minutes to be on the radio live
Yeah,
in
normally
Liberia.
we go 2 hours, even if the guests come and leave, we still have our 30 minutes, so we just use our one more
No,
hour.
no, no, no. We need to go more than 30 minutes on the radio in Liberia because it's up to them. They owe us this. We must continue with this time. So Moses, you could tell the boss we got to continue over the 1
No,
hour
but
30
their
minutes.
boss is coming, so the boss want to be heard on the radio, so he has to, by all means.
Yeah. So, but Moses, quickly, before Moses, before any of my colleagues say anything, we tell us a little bit about the whole climate, the political fever right now in Liberia in terms of. We saw that a lot of people are run, like parties have been coming here and there. We got new proliferation of parties in Liberia. We got candidates. Do you know of any names apart from Thiago Gonglo, Cummings, and JMB and Weir? What are the other new guys new guys on the block?
So I know you have not heard about Ambassador Clarence Monimba, the son of
we heard of him.
the former Vice President Harry Monimba.
Okay.
No,
who is his running mate now?
Clarence Monimba is in the race. He is the youngest man in the race, the youngest presidential aspirant so far, at the age of 35.
All right, is he a testing water?
And then we have the businessman. We have the DSTV man, Simeon Freeman. He's still in the race. We also have a newcomer. Yeah, we have a newcomer by the name of Telfor Amos, the man who has said that he can eradicate mosquito from Liberia. He can ensure that Liberia will be malaria-free.
We need bread and butter.
Even though he has not told us.
Wow, go for get sleep early, must eat too.
There's another guy, I think he's based in Canada or in the US. He's called, I think, one Ben Fine. I think you guys come across that name before?
I think I heard that name before.
Always putting suggestions, and sometimes if guys will call his suggestion policies, and I'm like, these are just recommendations. These are not even policies. So how do you write policies when you are not in the driving seat? But these are just mere suggestions that the fellow is coming with. So, and suggestion, if you talk about these are bureaucracy that you're going to put into order, then it must be a joke, because you write something on a 1 page or 2 page something, and you call that something to safeguard the country from poverty, then it's like anybody else talking about suggestion.
Moses, is this any qualified list of candidates? Candidates that are aspirant, presidential candidates that you know of, that the election commission has qualified, that they are really putting a name on a ticket, and they're also their running mates. Do you have any idea?
No. The process is still on, right? Currently, is the candidate nomination process still going on? It should be cutting off at the 15th of this month. We are told that it should run up to the 25th of July, because the 4th of August is the official date for the commencement of campaign. So before the commencement of campaign, the Election Commission will do a final list of candidates who have registered either as an independent candidate or representing a political party.
So Moses,
there is one issue here that is.
Are they going to go with the new, voting system, or they're going to go by the old one? The digital or electronic voting?
As it stands, we are using the biometric voting card, from what I know so far. Yeah.
I think we are. I think
there were people who did
issue. Moses, just sorry for interrupting you. The guest is having issue of getting on. Is there a way you can help him out, because he's close to it? You see, can you come into the studio, or is he far from you? Because we just sending me a text, they're having a problem with logging on to the system.
I think it's far for me.
So are they going to carry generators to part of the country
the
that
gas is
doesn't
a
have
bit far for
electricity?
Hmm. Right. Okay. Yeah. There's a question for you. Are they carrying generators?
You mean the government?
Yeah.
Let me,
Yeah. The
let me
election
ask
commission.
Moses. Let me ask Moses a few questions. Moses, regarding the I don't know. You may not know the answer, but the reason I'm asking you is whether you have heard it or whether you know if the election commission is working on some of these things. Before, up to now, we had some issues with the voter registration, where there were double registration at some precincts, and then people had the complaint that they were not able to register, and a lot of things were coming out during the registration period. Were all of those problems solved? Do you know anything like that? And so, do you think we're going to have a smooth election if those problems have been solved, or if those problems had not been solved? Do you see anything, standing in the way of smooth elections?
Well, for now, I can say that the election commission has tried in solving some of the problems, but they've not been 100%. They themselves have had some problems during the voter registration process, the biometric process. In some areas, the solar system that was used, the equipment was malfunctioning in some places.
Hey, Liberia.
Guys, while Moses is trying to come on, this guy's struggling to get on the studio because the link is showing some error, and that's why he's sending me text.
It depends. It depends whether you got a good Facebook that is registered on.
The areas they had to extend it. They had to extend the number of days for the registration process in some of the areas. But right now, the election commission did verification of names to the various polling centers, so that those who did the registration
It's okay.
Yeah, but Flo,
Right.
I thought you were talking.
No, it's all right. I'm just trying to get to the guests. I'm still having difficulties. So I was just thinking of if Moses want to raise issues. I know people are in Liberia listening to us right now. We can get one or two person coming question if there anything. Is this something we can put through for our listeners? I'm just asking Moses. Or we can.
Yeah, we can. I think if we want people to call, they can call and give that general views, especially on the Costa issue. Because I want to
we can open the telephone lines. Yes, I think so. And the numbers are
Moses, before you introduce the number, we need to tell the topic why we asked them to speak on issue of any other the topic under discussion right now. You can ask them to talk on that. That basically so we know what they are talking about. Questions should be related to a particular topic. It's about Gloria Moses card, the Costa revelations, and the floor in Monrovia at the moment. Those three things can be anything can speak about it.
Yeah, so if you're listening to Red Power, the bottom line is on at this time every Tuesday. And it's about time that you place your calls so you can pick up your telephones. And then there are three issues you could talk about, any one of them. The revelation from Henry Costa about the Unity Party and its standard bearer, Joseph Yuma Boakai. The issue of Councillor Gloria Musu's card being denied bail bond on 2 occasions, and then the flood in Monrovia. You can also talk about them. If you are listening now to Red Power, you can call us on 0776 82 4003 and 0555 5148 85. There are two numbers here that you can call. The program is the Bottom Line. Is an European-based program that looks at issues affecting Liberia with a team of panelists: Linford Guer, Jamel Kamara, Paul Chulupe, Mark Fa, and the rest of the guys. So we in Liberia, we are helping the show from our end through a contract. So yes, the telephone lines are open now, and we can interact.
And just to squeeze in this, as Moses, read the numbers to, the Liberian people. I wonder what Dylan has to say about this Costa revelation. I wish the press will pick Dylan's mouth to hear what he got to say here in the Yumbly. Because not a word yet from Dylan in the Yumbly.
We hope that like you said, going to be a lot of revelations because he just started. There's going to be a lot of the Pandora box going to open soon in regards to what is.
Oh yeah, they can warm already open, my brother.
That's
just
what
a matter
I
of
said.
time.
This is a long haul. We're just starting. They say when you hold a rope, you'll be holding a bush. In fact, you start holding your tree, and eventually that tree will begin to hold a bush. So it's a long, long haul. So today is Tuesday. Soon it's going to be Wednesday. And before the weekend, I'm sure the UP, they are scripting down things. And Dylan was not particularly mentioned in this whole stuff. So I don't think
got a call, I think.
So
do we have a call?
We have a call, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a minute, we're trying to put you through. Just a minute. Are you there? Hello? Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I was just trying to talk as a concerned resident concerning the road that is being cut off here in Broadville, that is on the Bombing Highway. Yeah, I understand that Councilor Johnny Moko brought an excavator here, and that excavator is undermining the roads. He's building stones on the road there, and that's the cause of why that road is cut off.
Is that what the public works engineer said, or that's what you observe?
No, that's what I observed. That's not what the public works engineers say. That's what I observed. I was very concerned resident of Broadville.
So we have been going on the site, and then we spoke with community residents, and then they told us that because of the pressure from the excavator, and then it had to damage the road.
Thank you.
So that's correct.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. Correct.
Can I just ask the citizen one question?
Go ahead, Linford.
Okay. When he talks about...
Okay, listen to a question from abroad.
Yeah.
Caller, I want to say good evening to you. And my concern is what type of undermining the road you're talking about? Is the mayor building any structure there, or is he building another road? What is he doing to undermine this road? Because that's what he said.
So you got a question? Okay, he was asking what sort of undermining Councilor Momo has done to the road. So what is he constructing?
Yeah, he's constructing a number of stores on that road. The stores that you see on the road there, he's constructing those stores.
Okay. All right, thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you too.
So keep your calls coming in to 0776 82 4003 0555 514885. The program is the bottom line. Ask question. There are three issues that have been talked about here. Three major issues: the revelation from Henry Costa about Joseph Yuma Boakai, and then the former Chief Justice at the Monrovia Central Prison being denied bail on 2 occasions, and then the flood in the various communities. Those things are what the team of panelists are talking about now that you can get involved with as well. So, Linfo, if you there?
Yeah. So while we wait for the callers to call in, I just want to also comment on this flood issue, because this is
Linfo?
something that affects the health of the citizens. And for those of you who are residents of Monrovia, you should be also careful for your own life. Meaning that when these things happen, especially the flooding, you have to be either relocated, and nobody expects when the flood will come. You may be sleeping. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, 1978 or 77, around there, the flood I was talking about before. People got displaced at the Monrovia City Hall, where even the Liberian government had to call for assistance from Guinea. I remember they brought like bags of cassava and other things, because I lived on the bypass and we saw those trucks from Guinea bringing cassava for people, because people literally lost everything they had, and the government was not prepared to to combat that disaster. So by dumping dirt around the waterways, you cause problem for yourself, because every time, I mean, this is not strange to all the people that live in Liberia, that in July, starting from May, June, July to August, we have heavy rainfall, and that we expect this every year. So you have to take all precautions to make sure that if you have a waterway or drainage around your area, that you don't build any structure there. One, two, that if you have any obstacle that will obstruct the flow of the water as a result of the rain, you remove it, clear your drainages. And one of the reasons why the drainages get full or cluttered is that people dump dirt. I have walked around the drainage coming from all the way Mama Point that we're talking about, coming to the barracks and going down towards the executive mansion there. I've seen that people will just dump there when they sweep, they dump the dirt there. And every piece of dirt you put there, it will block the water. Because, of course, remember that there are people living upstream, and if everybody start putting dirt, the rain will take your dirt from up and bring it and add it to your own, and then it will continue to go down. Finally, the water cannot be powerful enough to carry all the dirt. Then the water stop and then it start to overflow. So you have to take precaution yourself, because it's all about your own health.
Yeah, Linford, thanks. I think Moses, the guest will be coming in through by the way of radio or telephone call, because he's having difficulty of getting on. So Moses, you'll be expecting a call from the guest to take you through. Will it be possible to put him through? Moses?
I've not seen the guest up to now, Jamal.
Yeah, he's not
seeing any sign that he will be on.
No,
he's going to call. He's going to call by telephone.
He's coming by telephone. He just told me coming through the radio. He just can't come on to. It's not possible to come on the by way of.
Therefore, we have a call.
Okay, take it. Oh. Well, this is what happens. And when
I think that should be the guest calling in, because he's not having difficulty getting through the live stream. So we're going to have him through a telephone conversation. Mm-hmm. So let's see if he comes through. We have some issue right now. I think, it is something that we hope in the near future things happen in Liberia. We got good government to change things. I mean, in this age where we have issue of where you have too many service providers in the country, you shouldn't be having an issue with internet connections anymore, when almost literally some other countries are giving it free, where we having it as a privilege. But I hope in the near future things will happen in Liberia. And while we're waiting for the guest to come through the telephone line this time, because there's some technical issues he has, can't come through with through the live stream. So, Linford, we're looking at it right now. We understand that there are calls for Liberians in the diaspora to go home, at least to be part of the election process, at least to be a poll washer. Have you heard that message coming around from your end? Because we heard that like Liberians are pouring into Liberia, they're going home to at least kind of contribute to the process.
Yes, I have personally seen Liberians who are volunteering, uh, probably because of the call for them to return home, or just from sheer love for country and sheer willingness to see true change come to Liberia. So I've seen people volunteering to go, and others are also going on behalf of their political institutions. So, uh,
Moses, do you have a caller?
Linford,
yeah.
Linford, did you hear the CEO of Red Power?
No, it's not coming through yet. We are not hearing you through. Your voice is not
Jamel,
coming through.
are you there?
No, we are not getting him through. We hear you, Moses. He's not coming through. His voice is not coming through.
Okay, so, but if you listen, you'll get him. So, Mr. Sesay, can you come up again with what you just said?
Well, gentlemen, I'm supposed to be a guest on the show tonight, but because of huge, traffic, downpour, rain, throughout the day, because of traffic around the Pinton area connected to Douala, so I'm coming in late now, and also I'm finding it extremely difficult to connect via StreamYard. So I'm wondering if it's very possible for me to make my few inputs before the end of the show.
I'm sure they got you.
Yeah.
Jamel? Okay, so you got him clear?
Is there any way we can take a couple of questions from us? Is that possible? Can you hear you from us? Can you hear from this end that you can take a couple of questions from our end? Right. I think, guys, we're having a technical issue here. It's hard to. I don't think Moses is working well.
We're having some connection problem from Linford side. Linford, are you there?
I'm okay.
We are hearing you very well. Nobody has a problem here. But let's find another time where we have him as our guest. So we don't have much time anymore left. Moses.
Yeah.
I think we because we see technical issues in Liberia, heavy downpour of rain, we can't have the connection straight up. We're not getting loud and clear because the sound is very, very faint. So we are not getting from this end. Definitely, we need to schedule another time for you to be a guest on the show. We will plan. If we have another caller on the line, and let the CEO go, and we will take another caller. Then we can see if we can do our parting comments. Because our lives less than 5 minutes to wrap up from here.
Okay, thank you, Jamel. So, Mr. Sesay, you can just close up because we're going to rearrange for your appearance.
Yes, I think it's better because I can barely see more and you're moving some area. So I'm afraid that I'm not hearing. Okay, we will reach next time. I think that will be good.
Okay. So, guys, Jamel, you can continue from your end.
Thank you very much. That was Mr. Abraham Sesay, who is aspirant candidate for CPP of representing District 17, or the ticket of CPP for District 17. It's unfortunate that we couldn't have him because of some technical issues. We also understand there's a heavy downpour rain in Monrovia at the moment, so we've been encountering some technical issues having him on the show tonight. He was supposed to have been our guest on the show tonight, but we will rearrange a show for him to come on to be our guest on the show. We have issues. We'll be discussing topics like the lawmakers ensuring transparency and accountability in government. So we will be speaking to him. So he's aspiring to become the lawmaker what will be his role, what he think he can do to change things in Liberia with level of transparency and accountability. But in that case, unfortunately, we couldn't have him tonight, but he's because some of the issues we can have him. So we hope that we'll have you another time. So in any case, we would like to thank Moses very much for all the effort, and I will join my colleague Linford. You were
Yeah.
sorry, you were on the floor when the guest interrupted. Could you please continue from there? Mark is also back on. Mark, we have some issue here. I hope you've been following us with the guest not coming up for some technical issue. We have a heavy downpour rain or river at the moment, and
Yeah, that's Liberia.
he's struggling to get on. He can't get on right now. So we try to rearrange another show so he will come on to be the guest on the show. So we've agreed on that. So guys, we have less than at least less than 5-10 minutes to wrap up. If you like, I'll let you take your round.
Yeah, same Mark just came in, let him flow.
Yeah, no way. I want to say thanks to you all for the show. Even though our guests, I mean, the rain like Liberia cannot blame anybody. So we look forward for another schedule. And thanks to Brother Moses for being in the studio too, and thanks to our many listener and follower. Good night, guys.
Okay. Well, we want to just say thank you to our loyal. You know, I like to say our loyal followers, people who are just waiting. The moment Bottom Line comes in or comes on, they are there, they are in already. So I like to say thank you to you because without you, we will be sitting here and talking to ourselves. So I would rather take a phone and call Jamel or call Paul and then we just talk since we have no viewer. But because of you, we are here, and because of us, you are here. So we want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to Moses. He did his best tonight about the internet in Liberia, and this is what we're talking about: good governance. There is nowhere here in Europe where when a tornado take place that we can have internet connectivity because we got several providers and they have put into place mechanisms that they can bypass whatever disaster, unless maybe the satellite blocks then we can have internet, but not because of rain or snow. In fact, in Norway, we have small, it was snow conditions, but still people get signals, you know. So we want to see a Liberia where you can have conversation on the internet for complete 1 hour without any breaking like we do. When we come here for the 1.5 hour that was supposed to be on the radio here, we have maybe 20, 30 times that will break, you know, off because of the bad internet connectivity. And this is not any rocket science. Every little country in the world, in fact, the people have made it possible that you can have your own internet in your hand. You put in your pocket, you walk away anywhere around. You go high in the mountain, you got an internet with you, you can connect to anything because you are connected directly to the source. But again, Liberia, we are still behind, and these are some of the things that we want to see change in that country. You know, when people talk about change in Liberia, the first thing that comes to people's mind or the minds of the politician is, oh, they want to change the way we get our money because the people depend on government to get money. So by the time you talk about change, it's coming to change our whole system will not be able to see again. No, we're talking about these small technical details where you can sit anywhere and talk to anybody, where you can be in Maryland and get good facilities, where you can be anywhere. Here where I live in Norway, if you live in the mountain, you still buy bread the same price that people in the city buy because it's the same. So when I say because John Brown lives way in the mountain, so we make bread dearer. No, it's not like that. You see, but if you live in Maryland County and somebody in Maryland is buying a bag of bread 2,000 or 3,000, you will be buying it 5,000. And the reason is why? Because that person have to transport it. You see, but here, everything, everywhere, if the baking bread here, the same company that baking here, they got a branch in Maryland. Okay, so you can bake a bread Montreal, the same bread they will bake it in Maryland. So it'll be the same material, the same cost. These are the things, the changes that we talk about. But the moment you talk about changing Liberia, the people who survive from government, they take it to be bad thing. They say they're going to change the way they do things, and then they will not be able to get the money the way they can get it. So that's how our people think. But for you Liberians, I just want to close by saying that, no, listen, change is not an easy thing. For you to change anything, you either have to change your own self, your mind. If you want to change the way your body looking, you have to change the way you eat. If you spin like me, you want to be fat, then you got to start eating plenty. Okay, so change is very difficult. It's not an easy thing. But you have to first of all adjust your mind to it that yes, I want this thing to happen. No matter the consequences, but accept it. So I just want to close by saying thank you guys, and it was a great show.
Well, thank you. Before I take you to Moses to take us home, I want to say I want to once again say thank you very much for listening. Whoever is listening to, or in Liberia, wherever you are, our listeners in Liberia, thanks for your time. I know some of you don't have the opportunity to call, but you listen to us very well, and you follow the show. We say thank you very much. And we've been having technical issues over the period of time. I hope it's well sorted now. And I also want to say, we come to remind you, come here every Tuesday and Friday on the Bottom Line. We stream live on the Facebook, YouTube, and we have our own online radio. You can go on the Android Google Play Store to download our app. We are on 24/7, 247 with online radio. You can always have the on there. You can follow us on online radio, Facebook. We also have our Twitter page as well as Instagram. So it's every Friday and Tuesday at 7 o'clock Liberian time, 8 o'clock Central UK time, and 9 o'clock Central European time. We always look at issues regarding Liberia and also Liberians in the diaspora, general issues. And we want to say once again, a big thank you to Moses for sitting at control and helping us to make sure this is going well. If it's not Moses who can get it through tonight, Moses will let you take us home from here. And thank you for having us tonight. And you do a better job for the past couple of weeks. Tonight, one of the best so far. I hope you continue. Moses will let you take us home.
Well, thank you, guys. I think it was a good show, despite the challenges that we had along the line. But the topics were very interesting. We look forward to more and more conversation in the best interest of the people of Liberia.
So on that note, I want to say thank you very much. And I want to say